Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the September 19th, 2022 Board of Condemnation and Blight meeting. The time now is 2 p.m. Do I have a call to order? Do we need one?
Nope.
All right.
Starting the meeting. Yep.
Approval of minutes for June 20th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Motion by Sands. Second by Pat. All those in favor? Say aye. All right. Any new communications to the board?
I have none other than what we'll discuss
as
we go through.
Very good. Thank you very much. Going to number 4, condemnation, old business, 284 Berkeley Road. Would you like to report on that?
So we've met with the attorney. We had a hearing for the citation, which was postponed due to the owner getting into a severe motorcycle accident, but the attorney subsequently filed an appearance on his behalf. We met at the property. We discussed the remaining work that is yet to be done, and so the owner has agreed to ensure that that's completed. And made some additional work there towards remedying that. So we'll continue that for now.
Okay.
Is the property on the market?
It is for sale, yeah. So he's trying to sell it, but he didn't want to do the work, but it's been on long enough that we said, you got to do the work.
Okay. And by the way, I'm sorry, that was a question from Mark Barnhart, director, who is in attendance, and we just had Miss Betsy Brown walk in attendance as well. So continuing with number 4, condemnation, we'll go to 92 Grassmere Avenue, of which...
So I had communication with the owner last week. We're going to arrange, he indicated his willingness to arrange for an inspection with a structural engineer to get into the property, to take a look at that and see, make an assessment, on behalf of the board, and then we'll proceed from there. But the idea is either, to compel him to make the necessary repairs to the structure, or to have the town take those actions themselves. Yes.
Okay.
Mark, you have a question?
Yes, absolutely. Mark?
This property is also for sale, but only as part of portfolio, or have you had any?
There's no signs up. It's not listed on the market. The owner has indicated he's willing to sell all his properties, but it doesn't appear as if he's actively pursuing that. Yeah. He's, over the last year or so, he's made assertions that he's almost under contract, so it's moving forward, and
several times.
Yeah, but I know people that have made him offers, and he has a number in mind that seems unrealistic to most people, and so the property's just set. So.
Okay. Any other discussion on 92 Grassmere? I mean, I can't wait to see, honestly, what the structural engineer comes back with, because this has been on our agenda for quite some time.
Yep.
And has been a hazard, at least from my end, from the fire service side. I look forward to this. If I may, can I have a motion to go out of order?
Sure.
Seeing that we now have Betsy in the
Sure.
in the seats. So
I'll make a motion to go out of order from the regular agenda, address those that are in attendance.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Hello, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Very good.
Somebody else is coming.
Oh, okay. Shall we wait? Shall we continue? Move back to
Just continue.
regular? Okay.
Okay.
I apologize. Going back to the regular agenda then. Number 5, new business condemnation, 486 Riverside Drive.
I think that's a mistake.
Okay, I did not see that on, right.
Take that off.
Okay, thank you very much. Number 6, Blight Old Business, 131 Beach Road. Pat?
Yes. That, I have been following with the builders, demo companies. They did go, cleaned everything up. I met them out there. I guess their people are still fighting them to take it down, from what I understand. So the last I heard, it might be in court, or they do have a demo permit. They got a date. I spoke to one of the contractors. I met them. I said they got to clean all that. They cut the grass. They fixed the windows, they took all the debris out of there. But they have had a building demo permit for quite some time, and their date was up, so it was ready to come down. So I have not spoke to them this week.
How long's the permit been in place?
They've had a permit at least 30 days.
Okay.
It wasn't finalized, last meeting that we had, because it wasn't, the date wasn't up yet. But I will find out exactly.
So it
Looks
could
like
be,
the asbestos work is done, you know,
Yeah.
and they've made temporary closures on it, you know, in some of the areas where they were doing some of the abatement work. but-
Right.
possibly between 30, 60 days?
I will. I'm sorry, I just think.
Have you had any conversations with the town attorney on this? Pat?
I have not, no.
It might be, because I think there's litigation involving the.
That's what I heard, there was litigation and,
Which would prevent them possibly from taking.
from the debt,
building down.
correct.
However, you know what? Our agenda's for blight condemnation. They cleaned up the property.
You know, the kicker is it does have spray paint on the outside now that says
For
demo, and it does have boarded up, windows and doors now, so it, you know, technically meets the criteria. But again, the intent of that was that it was gonna be coming down shortly after. I'm not familiar with the lawsuit or anything like that, so people are trying to prevent it from coming down, or trying to prevent what's,
I think the
being there.
litigation involving the approval, or denial of the application for the site. So I think there's litigation involving the town based on the proposed development plan. But I don't know how that's why I'm just wondering if there's had a conversation.
I honestly, and I apologize, did not know that the litigation was with the town. The builder just told me that I will reach out to our, town attorney and see if I can get any information.
Yeah, it'd be nice to take a building down, for sure.
yeah, I think we should just keep it on the agenda for now
Right.
and see what the status of this is to get more information, but it's, you know, it technically still meets the criteria for blight, you know. Even though they, you know, from a debris standpoint and everything, it looked, you know, buttoned up and secured and they, you know, there's no debris or anything
Right.
around, and the outside is in, you know, relatively good condition, other than the things that they damaged for the abatement, you know, which they covered up, so.
So
So I guess, you know,
recommendation, leave it on.
Leave it on, and if we think it's going to be a months-long process, then I would suggest that we have them
Clean up the
paint
demo.
over the demo and paint over the at least paint over the boards to make them look, to fit in with the building there, for now.
I would agree with that.
Keep the property.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll reach out to, Mr. Dalton, see if there's anything that he can, you know, give me a little light on.
Okay. Do I once again have a motion to?
Well, we already have the motion on the floor,
Yes.
so it's.
Okay, we don't need a
The
motion.
regular.
All righty. So, hello, how are you? Hello, sir, how are you?
Doing good?
How can we help you?
Just want an update on the Joseph Bar and Grill property.
Okay, so that is actually
The agenda here.
our number 9.
Yep.
We'll go right to it, 750 Post Road. After the previous meeting, I believe we received, contact from the current owner of the property, who was surprised to see the article in the press. He was asking what he can do to kind of make this a non-blighted property. I believe we've given him some recommendations in regards to what's determined to be blight. His first thing is, well, I will drive by and take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. Number one, we kind of mentioned the yard, the cleanliness of the landscaping of which he said he would take care of. Although that's not technically blight, he said he was going to take care of it. The windows and the property, it was discussed the plywood should be painted, the 2x should be painted to match the exterior of the building, and as well as the, if you will, the right corner along the front of the property as well had a hole in it for their inspection. We have documentation that has actually been taken care of as well. The next concern that we had was the sign that had a, I believe, blue tarp kind of blown off of it at the time, and he was actually like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right, I'll take care of that immediately as well. He provided us with a photo of that taken, being corrected too. So we haven't really gotten to this one as well.
And there's a permit.
And there
Yeah,
is.
so he's taken out a permit to begin construction so those were interim measures to sort of make it more aesthetically pleasing, so that it blends in a little bit better. I mean, none of us like that the boards are over the windows and doors and the 2x4s, but they're having people, trying to break in there and break in the windows, so.
Yeah, there were people that did gain access through the back at one point.
There was, in the Joes, okay.
Yeah, the squatters.
There were squatters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I think those are attempts to secure the building, which we want, which is, if it's unsecured, that's another violation, but while the boards aren't ideal, it's a temporary measure until they take out a permit, which they're.
There is a permit in file to make repairs.
Yeah,
It's not approved yet, it's going through the department.
So that permit, from my understanding, that from the discussions you had with the owners, is that, to bring it back up to
And it was
operational status.
It was
Yes.
a substantial cost, I'm just pulling it up now.
There's been an architect involved,
Yeah.
working on the
Exterior
plan.
repairs to correct light, install new windows and doors, repair walls, and install new roof.
Yeah, so they're
They
planning
have to do
to
substantial
make
work.
substantial improvements, to hopefully get a new tenant in there from, I think, Mark, you shared that your discussions with them. They want to make the inside and the exterior more pleasing to people and more sellable,
Yeah.
There's definitely plans moving forward.
So interim measures were put in place. Long-term measures are pending, approval of the building permit. And they indicated that they were ready to move on that fairly quickly.
In regards to this, one of the things that I recommend is leaving it on
Oh, yeah.
the agenda,
Yeah, it still meets the criteria.
not removing it because of the fact that, just because we have plans doesn't mean that.
Right,
it's not
doesn't mean the
gonna
job
move.
was, sure.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll stay on the agenda to try and keep the pressure on the owners to continue the work and resolve all the issues.
So am I taking Chick-fil-A down, they're just looking for a new tenant?
Yep. New, another restaurant tenant.
Is that what they're,
Yes.
good, I mean, something. Anything on, the gas station property, is that going back to zoning?
It is before zoning. There was a delay. We were hoping to have a public hearing this past weekend. It got pushed out because there is some opposition from the property owner across the street. So it's on the agenda. They have to schedule a public hearing. It was to demonstrate compliance with the conditions of approval previously granted, so I'm hopeful that this go around we'll have a plan going forward.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
I know.
So now we can resume
Okay.
regular order?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for moving us up.
Thank you very much. Going back to old business, number 215 Beacon View Drive. I think, since the last meeting, we actually had a hearing in regards to 15 Beacon View, of which the hearing officer has set some parameters.
3 weeks, yep.
3 weeks to resolve a lot of the outstanding blight condemnation issues. So,
Well, it's 3 weeks
yes,
to select a contractor and initiate work.
yes, correct.
So hopefully we'll get him moving along, but, which he did secure the back and so.
Yes, we've been provided some documentation. Number 353 Beacon View Drive, I have stopped there, had discussions with the owners. They are clearing a lot of the debris in the rear, in the back of the property. If you recall, there was a lot of, I don't want to call it debris, but there was a lot of debris and, ladders and wheelbarrows and other items, that have been removed. The gentleman mentioned, that his son is doing a lot of the work. So
Keep it on the agenda?
I would keep it on the agenda.
Okay.
And continue, hopefully progress continues. Number 4284 Berkeley, we just discussed. Number 130 Birchwood Drive, I have not seen any.
So they spray painted over the, demo spray paint that was on there, so it's spray painted white, you can still kind of see it, but the property is still unsecured. They did close a couple of the windows, but I was able to slide the slider open and walk in and open the door on the side porch, so we have to reach out to the owner and address that in securing the property so no kids can get in there. But that seems to be, the garage door was openable as well. But the pool seems to be fenced in.
Okay.
The gate's closed. It has a fabric cover on top of the pool as well.
Good.
So, I think there's 2 levels of, and it's difficult to get to because it's already all overgrown. Even though that's not a blight issue, it's it is fenced off, it is covered. Although there's a, nature experiment going on top of the cover with, growth and stuff going on.
I will admit the first time I went back there, I didn't know there was a pool. I didn't see the pool.
All right, so we'll need to reach out to the owner to secure it.
And leave that on.
Yeah.
Well, number 6, 92 Grassmere Avenue. We've kind of already discussed that. Number 7, 20 Morehouse Highway.
Still work remains, so we'll keep it on.
Okay.
It's being fined as
Yes.
the days pass.
Number 8, 1180 Oldfield Road.
Last I spoke with the realtor, there was a holdup in probate with making the transfer to a new owner, and so that's still. Last I spoke to him, that was probably more than a month ago on that one. But again, the yard is mowed. It's in my opinion, there's not much there that meets the blight criteria. It was on for, maintaining the yard really, which it's being.
So, do we maintain it on the agenda, or do we make a decision due to the landscaping only if it's for sale? I think it would be on the realtor, on the property. If they're looking to sell it, you would think that someone's going to be maintaining it.
Again, I've expressed my opinion before that I don't believe this meets the criteria for blight. The debris in the yard was reduced, and then we took it off, and then it was put back on by previous members of the board.
I will make a motion that we remove 1180 Oldfield Road.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 9, 750 Post Road, we just discussed. Moving on, 447 Stratfield Road.
Is compliant now.
Okay.
The gazebo and the pool are gone. And the fine was paid previously.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that 447 Stratfield Road is compliant.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Number 11, 280 Tuckahoe Lane. I went by there today, and I found conditions to be worse than they've been before.
You said there's a hole?
There is now a hole in the roof next to the chimney. I would say 2 foot, maybe 3 foot by 2 foot, 3 foot, which is concerning. It's right next to the chimney.
Okay.
So with that, a window was open on the left side of the house. The rear yard also had lower level screen that's been removed or broken, damaged, along with glass windows that are now broken and wide open to the environment.
Okay.
The rear window is totally accessible. So I reached out to the property owner. I actually told him that we have a 2:00 meeting today. I left a voicemail. There was no answer, but I informed him of the current conditions at that property as well. So I'm hoping that he calls back to have this discussion. It would be another concern, possibly getting into that property and taking a look at the interior as well.
Maybe if he's willing to have us go into 92, maybe we just ask if we can get the structural engineer to go and just do both properties that day and make an assessment and then based on that we'll get an estimate of I guess I would ask Pat, who needs to be in there to one, make the assessment of the engineering aspect? Is it not safe? And then two, what repairs would be needed to remedy those conditions, to be able to give us like a cost estimate on that, so we can, because it's one or two things. Either we
Fix it or take it down.
fix it or take it down. So we have to have an estimate of the fix-it cost.
Engineer and a builder. I know,
Yeah.
if we find an engineer that'll go in there and assess it, I am speaking with the town, try to find out if we have to come up with that cost, where it comes from.
Yeah, so those types
Yep.
of costs historically come from the contingency fund,
Correct.
so
And
we
then,
just have
we
to.
find a builder, and I'm sure we could find somebody to go in and write us a report and say, this is what it needs X, Y, Z, it's gonna cost this, and
Okay.
same as an engineer. We got a couple here in town.
Yeah.
We would probably take that route.
Okay, I guess, I don't know if there's,
I'm sure.
is there somebody like that, is on retainer with the town, or like somebody that we use?
I don't know that we have, I've been asking a lot.
I wonder if Gerald would know,
I'll
is there
find
somebody
out
that we
if
can
we had a bill.
hire to give us an estimate?
Yeah, I know we have some people that do work for the town, and maybe one of those guys would, and I'm gonna reach out to a few people, get some information.
Okay,
Because really, it's just a meeting, hey, you're gonna say, need this structurally, or, once the engineer reports, you get this is going, that's going.
yeah,
Is it worth it?
because I think if we can get in, we should have
Everybody.
Yeah,
right there,
everybody
yeah.
there.
Right, pictures and.
just be ready to get it all done, and hopefully we can convince the owner that, either sign off on the town doing it,
Yeah,
and get it to move forward that way.
Mm-hmm.
again, months ago, I had one of the neighbors approach me asking if they'd like, if I'd be interested in selling it, thinking I was the owner.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
All
well,
right,
let's hope we can
well,
get in there.
currently
for both
being
places.
fined again, so moving on to 146 Wheeler Park. I think we're still status, right?
Yeah, the car is still there, the garage, it doesn't look like anybody's going in and out of the house, but the garage door is open and, access to the house is still there. I've made attempts to try and reach out to people that were the owner. I haven't reached out to, I want to talk to the tax office to see where are the tax bills going and do they have any means of communication with the owner? That's the next step I was going to try, but I tried looking at the ownership and doing the internet searches, trying to find it, and I found a few numbers, and I called those and left messages at those, and I have no reply.
I wish while we were inspecting, there would even be a landscaper or someone who was doing the work on the yard.
Yeah.
Hey, who's paying you?
Yeah.
Right.
So let me talk to the tax office, because that's the last thing, because,
Okay.
I want to see if they, what's going on with them, where the bills are going to.
Okay, moving on, away from old business to new business or complaints. Number one, it's 15 Bel Air Lane. And I looked at it today. There are a couple cars in the driveway that are inoperable based on the flat tires. It looks like they've been there for quite some time. But part of the complaint was a tree leaning on the house. I don't know if it's technically leaning on the house, and
It's just overgrown.
It's overgrown.
Touching the house.
Overgrown. And the complaint was the roof. I didn't really see anything wrong with the roof other than, I can't even say other than. It's a metal roof. So
I think it's that old asbestos tile,
yeah.
corrugated asbestos tiling.
The exterior is old. I still don't know if there was anything really determined to be blight.
Yep. My suggestion would be that, I agree, I drove by it, I don't think it meets the criteria for blight, other than those cars, that we refer the cars to zoning, that inoperative unregistered vehicles, and not add it to the agenda because the overarching property doesn't meet the criteria for blight.
Okay. All right, number 2, 116 Doreen Drive.
I think that was a mistake, right, Andrea, 116?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
130
They
Doreen.
called in and said it was
Oh, I'm sorry,
Okay.
yes, but 130 was the
Yeah,
actual,
so it was
and
130, and the person who made the complaint then emailed back that it's resolved,
Okay,
so that was.
good, because I saw nothing there. 208 Fairchild Avenue, that was in regards to the RV on the right side of the house.
Yep, I referred that to Matt Decker.
Okay.
You know, because there's really no blight issues there for us. It's not a motor vehicle, so it's not really something for us. It's really a zoning issue of parked too close to the road.
All right. Number 4, 721 Kings Highway East.
So the next two are the same
Yes.
property.
I was gonna say, I didn't see a 747 when I looked at address.
That is the gas station.
Gas station on
There
Brentwood.
are permits on that,
Yeah.
it's in progress,
Yep.
so one in progress. There
Yeah,
are-
so it looks like, I mean, it's a permitted activity. They're digging there. They removed all the overgrowth around the back and put it all in the dumpster. And so from what the people told me there, and what
Yes.
the permit says, they're planning to turn it back into a gas station. And so I don't think it doesn't meet the criteria for blight in the sense that it's an active construction project.
Okay, very good. And last, 241 Old Hickory. I went all the way up there, I looked, and then I read the complaint, and this is for trees that are over the road. So,
Yep, I referred it to the tree warden. I sent, I forwarded the Q alert to the tree warden and for him to make an assessment if the dead trees that they're asserting are on the property are town trees or private property trees.
but I think we all agree that it's not really deemed to be blight, right? I mean, it's trees.
So it wouldn't be blight, but it would fall under condemnation. So any structures, any things that are greater than 12 feet tall that present a menace to public safety can become.
Okay.
But, so I would, I wait to see, I leave it on for a month to see what the response back from the tree warden is. Just, but did you see any dead trees?
No, I saw one, it actually fell in towards the house, but the house is far off the street.
But no, I mean, so the
I did
idea
not
is like,
really
if you've got
see-
these large trees that are just largely dead or big branches hanging over, that's gonna,
I'm not a tree warden,
Yeah.
my expertise is not on the trees and which way they're gonna fall, but I did not see anything that
Okay.
I thought was an immediate.
Yeah, so I think, see what Jeff Minder says.
Okay.
And if it's a town issue or,
Okay, so with any other business before us today?
I think we're good.
Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and the time is now, 2:28 PM, and this concludes our September 19th meeting.